There are two remarkable things about the Victory Vision. The first of which is the company, who hasn't been building motorcycles that long, although they've been building snowmobiles and such for many, many years, they haven't built a bike with an adjustable windshield, with a fairing for that matter. Well, they've done fairing. They haven't built a bike with an adjustable windshield. They haven't built a bike with a stereo system, cruise control, remote controls for things like stereos, body work like this, full body work. And though they have taken 6 years in development time to do it correctly, they pretty much got it right. The body work has been on dirt roads. Everything's held up. There's no squeaking or anything like that. It's put together with quality and good fit. The electronic package is solid. The controls are very nice. They really took their time and figured it out and got it right, making for a really nice bike. Now, to summarize the Vision, let's start with the suspension. The suspension, which we have set at 25 pounds of air in the rear, is our kind of magical setting we found for one uprighter loaded in all conditions. The suspension has worked everywhere very, very well. You basically don't notice it, particularly the forks. And it's a smooth ride, never jarring, doesn't transmit little ripples or anything to the rider. So it's just a very nice, comfortable ride. It's also very controlled, handling-wise, which then blends in with the chassis. The chassis is very solid feeling, and we love the steering. I mean, one-handed steering on a bike of this type and this size, you can, let go. You're not ever fighting the steering. You can change lines in a corner. You can change up where you're going pretty darn well. So, in the chassis department, we've got an excellent chassis with excellent steering, good feedback. So now let's talk about the Freedom 106 engine, 1731cc V-twin. The new engine, the largest they've made, millions of dollars of refinement for both the 100 and the 106 engine. No one can claim this bike is underpowered. A lot of times, certain cruisers, so forth, even with large engines, you could claim they're underpowered, kind of boring at times, just not a lot of oomph. Well, you can never say that about the Freedom 106 engine on this bike. Even pulling this weight around, this bike has plenty of power on tap for anything you want to do. It's got really good low end for out of corners, like here. It's pretty quick, continues into a very strong mid-range, very smooth and linear. Fogging up a little bit there. So the engine has really good low end, really good mid-range. It is not a rever, not whatsoever. You don't ride this bike to rev it out. You'll hit the rev limiter real quick and go nowhere fast. But the engine is very smooth while still transmitting what people are looking for in a V-twin engine, though you can't hear the exhaust all that well on the Vision. But there's the underlying thump of the V-twin engine, which is why people like bikes of this sort, cruiser styled. If you're on the highway, passing strong winds, whatever, plenty of power on tap. Power is never an issue with the Vision. It's very enjoyable, very adaptable. In the rain, the engine was sweet as could be. You knew what it's going to do, nice roll on, and you could feel the traction you were getting, and very very forgiving and very nice in the rain. So for back roads, it's got nice low end, rolled on, rolled off. On the freeway, the 6-speed overdrive, very nice, really quiets things down, takes the RPM down, makes things very pleasant. And there's enough power for passing without downshifting in most situations, even if you're in overdrive. And there's plenty of power on tap to get down the back road if that's what you choose to do. Now there is some driveline lash at times, and there is quite a bit of driveline noise coming from the Vision. That we could do without, and would like to see the company improve in those two areas, particularly the noise from the drivetrain. Comes up at certain times, usually at slower speeds. And I can let off the throttle right now and you'd probably hear the driveline. Sometimes louder than others, usually in lower gears. As I said earlier, if you want to get down a back road, there's plenty of power on tap. And the Vision is pretty darn sure-footed for a bike of this type, and that makes it even more enjoyable. You can actually attack roads on your touring bike. And there's plenty of brake power. Now let's move on to the brakes. The brakes are excellent as well. They're not overly touchy, but they are very strong, and the control with them is very, very good. So, you know, if you want to drag the brakes through a corner or light braking, good feedback, they're good. If you want a lot of braking, all you have to do is grab hard.
Accommodations while in the Northern California Fort Bragg area provided by the motorcycle-friendly Surf and Sand Lodge. Check them out. Accommodations while in the Northern California area provided by Holiday Inn Express, Fortuna, California. Gateway to the Redwoods, this hotel offers a step up in comfort for a very relaxing stay.